so the question we have today, what was your worst travel experience? So OP itself wrote, I've had some amazing travels and a handful of awful experiences. Curious to know what yours were. One of my top 3 would be the train ride from Paraguay to Berlin. Oh, Prague.
Paraguay? I thought you wanted to say Paraguay, like from Paraguay to Berlin.
I just read, and I was still in like Spanish mode from before. So I just invented something, I guess.
Paraguay.
From Prague to Berlin.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No,
okay. AC, no water, roasting day, no electricity either. So no charging phones or lights when we went through tunnels. Got boarded by armed police about halfway through. No one told us anything about what was going on. Got kicked off in Dresden and blocked by some woman when we tried to board our train. Almost 2-hour delay for the next one, just landing on the platform waiting. Finally got to Berlin 4 hours later than planned. Hostel felt so bad for us. They gave us extra beer tokens. Completed the train line and they offered me a free ticket. I politely turned that down and me and my friends still joke about it now. Oh, okay. Do you have what was your worst travel experience?
My worst travel experience? Well, I was thinking about it, and maybe it's not like this anymore, but when I used to be a kid, a girl, like the trips I would hate the most was whenever we had to take a bus to travel to Mexico City. Because like, you know, some buses in Mexico, like they have windows that you can't open. So you would have to breathe like the same stinky air like for hours, like from 2 to 4 hours.
Ew.
And then sometimes it would not only be like the stinky feet that you breathe inside the bus, but also like the stench next to the freeway, you know, of like... Yeah, garbage and stuff.
That so well, and it's disgusting.
So I think those have been my most traumatizing experiences. But I wouldn't even call it traumatizing, just like bad trip experiences. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My worst travel experience was when I was traveling with Sharon to Rome. Oh my gosh, and we just entered into that hotel room and it already looked like a room from a grandma, so it didn't look like that on the picture in the booking. Yeah. But the worst thing was that the toilet was somehow clogged.
Oh no, girl. Yeah.
And it smelled badly. Oh my god, I tell you, when we entered the room, I had to throw up almost so hard because it wasn't just clogged up by toilet paper, it was clogged up by some brownish eel.
Yeah. Oh,
and I feel like it also exploded somehow, and it was like just the worst thing I ever experienced. Like, I am traumatized by this room.
No, I recently went to Paris, and I also booked like a really cheap hostel, youth hostel. And my mistake was not reading the reviews, but it was, I mean, it was amazing for the price, like one night for 30 euros or something like that.
Okay, that's amazing.
But you could tell that they didn't invest in anything. Like there was no soap. There was only one. There was only one toilet for everyone in the
whole.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness.
And there was no soap, no hand soap whatsoever, and everything was old, and like all the reviews. Once I was there and I checked in, I just looked at the Google reviews, and everyone was like, worst experience ever. Actually, some people didn't even stay. They were like, they wrote, I didn't stay here because it was just so shitty. I couldn't
imagine.
It.
Actually, I also had a bad experience when my husband and I were in Ibiza. And we had this hotel that actually even had a hole because it was burnt. Like in the wall, I think, and it was so disgusting. Like the beds were disgusting, you know, because you can really tell that it was like a party hotel, which we didn't realize, but it was so bad. And I think, when I remember correctly, we couldn't even close the door correctly.
No,
like we were like, no, hell no. Thank goodness we were only staying there for like 2 or 3 days or something like that. Like not a lot, but
Discovering the
Jesus.
world can also be nasty.
Yeah,
can
I
also
guess
be
things can go
uncomfortable.
wrong, which is so funny because actually the only terrible, terrible travel story that I heard just recently happened to a friend of mine. That is like,
Okay.
I feel like the story will stick in my head forever, because
Forever.
it's like
It was
literally
just
the
bad.
worst travel story you can have. Like, it did not stop getting
Oh
worse.
my god. Let us know in the comments if you have had any traumatizing or really bad
Yeah,
trip
tell
experiences.
us, please write it down. But her
We would
travel
like to
experience, she was recently in Dubai. And imagine like being the first time in Dubai and you manage to get there at the only time of the year when it rains. And it was hell.
I saw the videos on Instagram. It was crazy.
Well, she told me the story about it just went worse and worse and worse. And at the end, like, that was the most traumatizing trip probably. But what a hell of a story. But let me read.
No, is that what you didn't know is that she booked like that dystopian experience, trip. Maybe
so-
she didn't read like the small
No, it was
letters.
so relatable how she told like she was with a friend there and they were like it was like their second day or something. They were in this bar and then this bar guide asked them like, oh, and so what are you doing tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, we're gonna go to the shopping mall. And he was like, oh, I just hope that you can get a taxi. And they were like, why? Is something happening? And he was like, oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow. And they were like, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, okay. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, it's really gonna rain tomorrow. Like, it could be that no taxis are arriving. And she was like, okay, rain, whatever. Like,
In Dubai,
it just rains
it can't
every
be
time.
that bad.
Yeah, and she was like, and then they woke up in the morning and she saw like the rain and it was like, rain we have here in Switzerland. Like, right, it's raining right now. Like, just drizzling. It wasn't that much. And it started at the buffet, and she looked like in this tiny room where they did the laundry and things like that, and just saw water dripping down the wall. No one caring, even in the kitchen. And she was like,
What is
okay.
happening? Oh my god.
And then for a half an hour drive to the mall, it took like 2 hours. And it just went on. I think at 4 p.m. they actually wanted to go back. Ended up with big luck. They got back at midnight. Trying to get back somehow.
And again, what a waste of money.
And then having to buy new
Okay.
flights to Rome and everything. Like, it was terrible. It was terrible. If you would have known, yeah. That's the new theme. What a waste of money.
Okay, but I think that's it, right?
But let's just read at least one comment and then we have it.
Okay.
I came here to say that the time we were lost looking for the ferry and cut over to get in line, the Azerbaijanis proceeded to honk for the next 20 minutes while we waited in line, even after I explained we weren't from the area and offered to let him go in front of us. But then I saw the story of someone ending up with a decapitated head in their lap,
Okay.
and now my travel woes don't seem so bad.
First, I thought of something else before you
What?
finished saying decapitating.
Yeah, I'm okay. You know what? Please do us the honor and write in the comments your worst travel stories.
Yeah.
Because those comments disappoint a little.
Yeah, definitely.